Over the last 48 hours, we have had some fantastic news if you are a crypto holder that you cannot help but listen to and be extremely bullish. But the biggest news of that whole 48 hours probably coming out today as Chainlink and ONDO might just about be to fully commit to what they're going to do in the future. Could they be the next leaders of the next rally? We're going to talk about all of that in today's live show and a whole lot more. It's Wacky Wednesday with the Bros. If you guys love the old daily live shows, you guys look forward to Wednesdays every single week. Cannot wait to get into the content here today. But if you're an OG, make sure right now to smash that like button. If you're new, thank you for joining us. Stick around to the very end and consider hitting that subscribe button as we are approaching 50,000 subscribers very, very quickly, but we need your help. Click on it right now. All right, let's go. Welcome, everybody. I am coming to you guys live from my vacay out here in Orlando, Florida. Get a little early celebration for Brody's second birthday. He will be turning 2 in about a week and a half, but we're getting a little celebration in early. But had to come in here and had a little afternoon off. He's down at the pool with his mama. I'm here live with you guys. I can't wait to get in the show because honestly, T-Shroom, there's probably going to be some headlines you go over that I'm not aware of, just like a lot of other people watching right now because I'm in vacay mode. But before we get into the details, how are you boys doing? Let's start off with you, Smay. Still loving the ping hat. My condolences for Jason Tatum and the future of the Boston Celtics of this playoff tournament. I apologize. That's a rough go of it. How are you doing despite all that?
Not good.
Yeah.
not good. But
yeah.
Moving past that, I love golfing, and I get to go golfing this weekend. Yay.
There we go. There's a good pick-me-up. T-Shroom with the HODL hat. That's a great piece of advice for people today. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. I'm doing well. And even though markets are not pumping as much as they did earlier this week, I'm still feeling good, feeling optimistic. We've got a great show planned out for you guys. This is not the time to tune out. This is the time to lock in, and I'm better than I deserve.
There we go. Well, if you guys are excited about the Wednesday live shows, smash that like. Drop a 1 in chat if the live shows of the Bros was what your favorite show of the week always was. And again, we'll be here live every single Wednesday. Rain or shine, vacay or no vacay. Actually, sometimes we'll have vacays and I won't be here. But today, in this vacay, we are here. It's time to get into some news here. A lot of charts to go over here later in the show. Some very interesting things going on. But I got to start off with some of the biggest headlines happening right now that will have effect not only on your crypto investments right now in the next couple of days. We're talking about a lot of news that has long-term major bullish implications. You want to lock in to understand what's going on. For that, we got to go over to T-Shroom to get into the news. T-Shroom, take it away.
Absolutely. We're going to go to the Middle East. We've got some fun headlines here. President Trump secures $1.2 trillion economic commitment from Qatar. A very big number there. It's not all going to be in 1 year, of course. It'll be trickled over the course of a couple of years. But it's a big number, right? And it's just what they need to hopefully balance the budget. Qatar signs $200 billion agreement with the U.S. to buy 160 Boeing planes, the largest order in history. These two headlines together, along with what we saw earlier this week from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and MBS there, really kind of continue the bullish momentum for risk markets and investors to say, man, things are continuing to move in a bullish direction when it comes to the tariffs and the trade talks. Tim, what's your take here on the developments we're seeing from the Middle East?
Yeah, this is very, very massive, very big news. Again, all of the fear and uncertainty and doubt, or in other words, the FUD surrounding tariffs, we're being patient, right? We have taken a very patient method here of tariffs. Yes, we knew there was going to be some pain up front, but we figured there was some sort of grand plan that was going to unfold if people just gave it time. And I don't think everyone, Shroom, is on board yet saying they love what's going on here, right? I think we even still have some friends and some family who own businesses that have not yet come out of the woods yet for some of the pain of tariffs. but I think we're starting to see some light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, that big deal we just had last week with the UK. Now we have this trade deal going with Qatar. It sounds like, again, there's a lot that still has to be unpacked, but it sounds like everything's going really well with China. Could we see America really come out on the much higher level on the backside of this tariff information? Once these deals get done, could we see the American people be benefited very much so? And the reason that's significant, because I think there's a lot of people listening right now who are not American, right? But the problem is that the number one thing that's going to move markets is when the American economy is doing well and the American people have liquidity to go buy it. And so, unfortunately, even if you're not an American and maybe your country's getting a lesser end of the deal than the Americans are, at least if you're holding crypto, you're going to come out on the upper side because crypto prices will increase. That's what I'm kind of watching happen right now. This is what I'm kind of feeling is the future. It's very much looking like the bull market is about to be roaring. American economy is about to climb the upside. I don't know if you have headlines about the economy. I know some people have given some recent predictions or updated their predictions about an American recession probably not coming, but I'll leave it for you to go over a little bit later. That's how I'm feeling right now about this news coming out of Qatar today.
Well, absolutely, Tim. That's kind of the way that I'm feeling as well. And you referenced some big news coming out of Wall Street in regards to the recession. And if you'll jump over to my screen here, Smay, you'll see that the recession's off. JPMorgan drops U.S. recession call after the U.S.-China trade truce. So JPMorgan waiting a couple of days here, dropping this late yesterday or early yesterday. And I will point out that they did this right after Goldman did something similar, dropping their recession odds to 35%. So Wall Street kind of unanimously saying and agreeing with Trump, it's time to buy stocks, time to go back into risk-on mode. So yeah, absolutely. Let's go ahead and jump to the next story here, though. Get us back on track. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong, on joining the S&P 500, said this: "Crypto is here to stay. It's going to be a big part of everyone's 401k." Tim, we didn't get a chance yesterday because you were on vacation to comment on this, but this is a very big development. This is also much bigger of a deal than MicroStrategy getting added to the NASDAQ just a few months ago. The S&P 500 is a much higher standard. It's much more difficult. How big is this for the crypto world and for Coinbase and for Brian Armstrong?
Not trying to get into too much, of your own business, but like you just set up your wife's 401k not too long ago. And while of course we all know Shroomy is a crypto guy, he wants his wife to do what she wants to do. And she feels more comfortable going with the good old classic, set up my Roth IRA, set up my 401k, get all this done with the good old simple S&P 500, right? Well, now all those people who take that very simplistic approach, whether they know it or not, are going to have some exposure to cryptocurrencies and watch that increase. Watch them potentially, even if they stay involved with what's happening in their investments and ask their broker, hey, what's my best performing assets right now? They're going to start hearing, oh, it's Bitcoin. Oh, it's Chainlink. Oh, it's ONDO. Oh, it's AVAX. Oh, it's XRP. They're going to hear the crypto names leading the list. They're going to say, all right, let's get out of this, just S&P 500 investment. Let's maybe even go start allocating a hefty percentage of this into crypto specifically. But I think it's a great start here. Again, the amount of people who will unknowingly invest in cryptocurrency simply because they just go and buy the S&P 500, that is a massive win for crypto holders everywhere. It's really that simple. I'll throw it back to you, Shroom. Otherwise, I'm just wasting people's time blubbering on.
No, absolutely. And look, it's funny that you say that, Tim, because the last time I checked in with you about my wife's IRA, Roth IRA, the plan was to go into the S&P 500. And,
it's updated. It's new. Okay.
Let me just say that
you went 100% Bitcoin?
We did not know, but there's a lot of other opportunities, believe it or not, in the stock market other than the S&P 500. Let's say Palantir definitely made it on the list. A little bit of NVIDIA made it into the portfolio. A lot of Microsoft. Go ahead and cut to the chase there. Microsoft is the biggest holding of not just the Dow, the NASDAQ, but also the S&P 500. So you got to it's also the biggest corporation in the world. So you got to get some Microsoft on the balance sheet. And they happen to own the biggest promise technology-wise, the OpenAI. Or they own a lot of it. They have a good amount of exposure to it. So back on my screen, we heard a crypto CEO being happy for crypto, saying it's here to stay. A crypto president now President Trump says, I'm a big fan of crypto. I'm a big crypto fan, was his exact words. I want to make sure we get them right. I don't, it's just kind of piling on a little bit more cheerleading here for prices to continue higher. We do have another interesting, substantial headline here. JPMorgan has completed its first public transaction of tokenized treasuries through the ONDO public ledger with help from Chainlink. Now, this is a big headline that prices don't seem to be reacting to. We're going to break down why prices aren't reacting to the upside, but this is a very big headline. Wouldn't you say, Tim?
No, I mean, this is the big one. This is the big one of the day. And I'll explain why. You guys, anyone who's been watching the Investing Bros for a while, know that we love some real world assets. I believe that every single person, there I am, I'm paused, I think. I don't know what's
You're good.
going on my internet there. Vacay Wi-Fi here, everybody. Anyway, so layer one solutions. We believe everyone should be invested in layer one solutions. We're talking about the roadways of Web3, of blockchain technology, but the real world assets, the tokenization features are going to be major in this bull market. We're telling everybody, make sure you're investing in real world assets. And the two biggest ones we've always talked about are ONDO and Chainlink. But here's what we're going to get into on today's show. We're definitely looking at the charts later. Why ONDO and Chainlink? Right? ONDO is probably the biggest name being talked about right now in real-world asset tokens alone. Of course, you have some real-world asset plays within Ethereum and within XRP and within Solana. But ONDO, we're watching major company after major company after major company. And today's headline is JPMorgan using ONDO specifically to access their tokenization. ONDO is going to be a major player. It's not even in the top 30 coins right now. And yet it's one of the top plays that institutions are getting invested in. Wait till they go big, big, big with their money. ONDO's going to fly up. I still predict ONDO's going to be rivaling. That's the wrong word. It's going to be fighting to be a top 10 coin by the time this is said and done in this bull market. Why is Chainlink such a big deal? Because as this headline kind of says, they're using ONDO with the help of Chainlink. No matter what coin people choose to use in the real world asset space, Chainlink has their hands in every single cookie jar. You are not going to be doing anything with tokenization without Chainlink getting some sort of the piece of that pie. Link is massively slept on. I did a poll like 2 weeks ago, Shroom, over on X, and I said which coin is going to be the best bang for your buck in this market. And I threw on some, obviously, the sweet ones like Sui or Sui. The proper pronunciation, but people like Sui. ONDO, I think I threw on Solana, and I threw Chainlink on there as well. And there's a bunch of people sleeping on Chainlink. I think I did another poll that was like, what's the weak link of this portfolio? And people are saying Chainlink. People are sleeping on Chainlink. Just because Chainlink has not 10x'd recently does not mean long-term the fundamentals of what they do is not extremely, extremely important. And those who understand the future of real-world asset plays, those who understand what the future of blockchain technology looks like, they're betting big on Chainlink. They love that the average retail investor who watches crypto YouTube channels doesn't think Chainlink's that special, because that means they get to acquire more of it at these cheap prices. A year from now, when Chainlink is, again, maybe definitely a top 10 coin, right? But maybe top 5, who knows? I still think there's a crazy situation in which Chainlink could potentially be like a top 3 coin, right? But even if it's only like number 6 or number 7, that's a major win for Chainlink. That's when retail investors will say, why weren't we buying Chainlink before? Why weren't YouTubers going crazy about Chainlink last year? Well, I just want to record to show right now, the bros have been big on Chainlink for a while, even to our detriment, because people have thought we're crazy. Chainlink is a sleeping giant. Do not let the boat leave the dock without you owning a little bit of Chainlink in your crypto portfolio at the least.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely know that I've got a pretty big bag of Chainlink, and I'm not looking to part with it anytime soon. Folks, there's some pretty compelling polls over on Tim's Twitter right now, at Tims_TA.
There's a very important poll running right now that people need to go comment on.
We might have
Maybe
to,
we'll address it later
look
in
at
the
that.
show.
Exactly, later in the show. But yeah, I have the question, Tim, that I think everyone is asking. If RWA is so big, if tokenization is so big, and JPMorgan is announcing that they've done a partnership and they're doing actual work with these coins, why aren't they pumping? Why aren't they moving to the upside? Tim, perhaps there's something on the charts that might provide us a little insight into why that is.
Absolutely. Let's get into the charts. It's going to be weird. I'm going to start off with a chart I don't normally look at, but this one is going to tell you a lot about what you need to know what's happening in the markets right now. This is the gold chart, ladies and gentlemen. And by no means would I say gold is blood in the streets. Gold has been pulling back here, though, since late April, early May. This is a sign that the bull market is coming back and it's roaring because gold pumped this in the last couple of months. As crypto was falling, as the stock market was falling, gold has gone crazy. Daily, it seemed like was hitting new all-time highs, did reach all the way up to $3,500 per ounce of gold. Well, now we are watching gold start to cool off. Why? Because the thing that pumped gold so much was fear of recession, fear of uncertainty, fear of, well, I can't hold my money in the dollar. I can't hold my money in risk on assets. I don't want to leave it in the stock market. Well, the best place to park it is over there in gold. Well, now as the recession fears are starting to wane, it looks like we have some economic prosperity coming down the road. People are saying, all right, I was a little overexposed to gold. It's time to go move that money back into other things. And let's check it to make sure. Unless we just saw the Dixie skyrocketing, which it did find its way back up over $100, it's not skyrocketing right now. The money is flowing back into the stock market, which again, remember just a couple weeks ago when we said the stock market was going to crash and burn and die? I say we in terms of, people who thought that, not we as in the bros, I guess that's the best way to put it. People who are going nuts here saying the stock market was about to enter a disastrous crash. We left some optimism on the table. I said you never know what's going to happen here, but I left some optimism. All of a sudden, S&P 500 has found itself today a mere, 4%, 4.3% away from all-time highs. You see the other stocks we've been talking about recently, like Tesla, is starting to go berserk. NVIDIA has made a nice bounce back up here recently. Coinbase is making a nice surge, breaking through resistance. Robinhood, very close to reaching bull market highs, and then it's probably not far away from reaching all-time highs set back here in 2021. But we're watching the stock market surge. We're also watching crypto continue to hold up. The only difference is crypto today is starting to pull back. And later in this video, I will take a look at ONDO and I will take a look at Chainlink, and we'll talk about those coins in a little bit. Let's start off here with Bitcoin and reference kind of what's been happening. Now, yesterday, I did leave on vacay and we had ourselves a nice little pump. It seems to always happen. Tim goes on vacation and crypto pumps. But of course, this morning it pulled back and we find ourselves right now kind of hovering around $103,000 to $104,000. Why are we in the area that we are in? Well, first of all, something that's going to be very important to keep an eye on for the next couple of days here will be this formation. I warned people last week that this formation, a rising channel, this red line signaling higher highs, this green line signaling higher lows. I said more often than not, these end up finding themselves breaking to the downside. That's exactly what we had happened here. But now what you're witnessing is a little bit of what we call a retest, where we've lost support levels. We're retesting the support levels and turning it into resistance. We had a little bit of a fake out there, but here earlier today, a very clear rejection on what was once a nice, strong support level now has turned itself into resistance, and we're seeing some pullbacks happen. We're rallying right now, right, over the last couple of hours, but we're on the large scale seeing some pullbacks. And I want to be very clear here. People say this all the time, Tim, you're so bullish. The title of the video is that ONDO and Chainlink are going to lead the bull market. The thumbnail says the bull market's on. Why is crypto falling? Because I'm about to tell you why I think crypto should fall over the next couple of days, maybe next week, and some change. I want to be very clear. The news today is extremely long-term bullish. That does not mean at all that we have to go straight up from here. In fact, what we're seeing happening right now is a pretty tall tell sign that a correction is needed. Very, very bullish news, and yet, as T-Shirt pointed out, and as the charts point out, the prices are not doing much to the upside. They're actually cooling off a little bit. And the reason for that, we had been monitoring a 12-hour sell signal here on the Luxalgo indicators, which, by the way, shout out to Luxalgo. We use them each and every single day here on the channel, and they have been crushing it for us, making these trades work to make us money. In bull markets and bear markets, no matter what's happening, Luxalgo has money made for you. Check out the link down below if you want to check it out. We have had this red reversal, this bearish momentum, and that negative money flow. My trifecta of the perfect sell signal has been in play here since back on May 11th. Now, we haven't quite followed the rules here. If you go back to May 11th, that actually was a good top sign. Now that I'm looking at it, that was the top of this recent rally. So the most recent 12-hour sell signal, actually pretty quality sell signal if you look at it right there. But I'm seeing something bigger happening right now, which, again, why am I kind of a little skeptical about the 12-hour sell signal? Because we've ignored the last two 12-hour sell signals. We needed to see something bigger come into play. I've been letting our VIP trading group know about this for about a week and a half now. If we get a daily sell signal, that would be the trigger that I'm looking for to finally have some sort of a correction. Guess what's happening right now? Despite all of the bullish news, we have recently caught ourselves in bearish divergence. We have a red reversal. We have bearish momentum. We see the bubble starting to pop. And right now, it's not officially here yet, but we look very much so. Unless today ends bullish, unless tomorrow is a major increase to the upside, it is looking like we're going to get a daily sell signal for the first time since way back here in February 1st. What happened back on February 1st? Last time we had a daily sell signal, we would be right in here. Boom. We fell back down and touched 91K for the first time in a couple of weeks, right? We have not had a daily sell signal since February 1st. We didn't get a single daily sell signal in any of this chaos. We need to pay attention to these daily sell signals. Eventually, one in a bull market will break. It won't work out. But right now, I would tell you to heavily pay attention to them. The other significance about this daily sell signal, like I said again, is the fact that it's coming to us right as we're getting some good news. And this is a very classic I don't want to call this one full-blown market manipulation. It's more like a convenient market manipulation. Everyone just assumes that if you get good news, that means markets have to pump, and that's not always the case. Right now, clearly the whales and the experienced investors are looking at the Bitcoin chart. They're looking at a lot of altcoins, and they're saying, yes, this news is phenomenal, but honestly, we could get a little bit of a pullback here and buy a little cheaper before this news really takes off and sends us to the upside. And right now, what I'm going to be telling you guys to keep an eye on, this line keeps moving, but I'm going to be telling you guys to keep an eye on this climbing daily smart trail. Right now, it's coming in at 95,700, low end here on 93.2, but it's still moving to the upside. What I think is going to be very interesting to watch is this bullish breaker block that's coming in about 99,500 to down here towards 97,000, give or take. This zone, I think, is going to be very intriguing to watch on the daily chart. I myself probably won't wait for that zone to make my next buy order. I'll be buying here on the 12-hour smart trail. But unless that one starts going sideways, it looks like we could be ending on the same place here. I'm expecting to kind of pop up here and to see some of this support around 100,000. I imagine a lot of people will be buying around 100,000. I myself probably will be buying around 100,000, where you do have this nice fair value gap kind of sitting in right now that Luxoggle gives us. But as a whole, what we're watching here happen is we've been overextended for a couple weeks now. We keep pushing the upside, but today is actually a very telling tale about what Bitcoin wants to do. We have fantastic news that if the markets were even right now, if the markets were not overbought, we would be shooting up to highs we haven't seen in weeks. We might even hit new all-time highs. But right now, the markets are overextended. The daily chart is telling us it's time to have a little bit of a cool off. Let's put in that higher low that we've been mentioning, and then watch the whales scoop up that Bitcoin right as retail investors are freaking out, saying, there we go, we lost $100,000. That's it. That was a false break up to the upside. That was a dead cat bounce. Bull market over. That's what they want you to think about this move. They do not want you to buy. They want you to buy right now. They do not want you to buy any of the dips. Do not be surprised to see Bitcoin come back down here just a little south of $100,000. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat. Do you guys agree with that take? Or do you think that we're just going to continue to ignore all the bearish indicators? I want to be very clear. I'm a technical analyst, right? And a lot of YouTube channels that you guys probably are watching are technical analysts. We're not fortune tellers. We don't have a crystal ball that says everything perfectly. Technical analysis is not a 100% game that gets it right every single time. So there's always a chance that what I'm saying here is wrong, that Bitcoin does not fall back down to $100,000, that we keep shooting the upside. I'm simply telling you what the charts are saying. Then we got to see if it ends up working out. If you are the type of person, this is how you need to make a decision right now. If you're the type of person who would be upset if you don't have enough Bitcoin at current levels, and you would be very upset with yourself if Bitcoin were to just take off today and hit new all-time highs, go ahead and buy right now. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying if you are a person who would be upset about that type of a move, go ahead and buy. But if you're the type of person who would be upset if you bought right now just to see Bitcoin hit these marks of almost $99,000 and then shoot up, I would tell you to be patient. For me, I have a lot of Bitcoin. I'm in a long-term Bitcoin long. I'm very happy with my Bitcoin position. There's not a single bit of me right now that needs to add to my Bitcoin position. I will add at $100,000 because that would be very sweet for me, but I'm willing to be patient. The technicals say, hey, we could go back down, but the news does say, hey, we could take off at any moment now. You have to decide for yourself which is the riskier move, to buy now and potentially have a dip, or not buy and miss out on buying at these current levels. That you have to decide for yourself. Before I move on, T-Shroom, anything you wanted to add to that about Bitcoin, about the market take overall? Otherwise, we'll jump into some ONDO and Chainlink TA and then get into some Q&A with the people.
Yes, it's been a while since we've covered bonds. Go to and Tim, cut me off if I go too long here, but I'm going to try to explain this quickly. If you go to my screen, so this is the 10-year note, and you can see this thing has absolutely, the yield on this has really made a big move, and it's been overall sideways since Trump has taken office, with some very, very big volatility. Right now, with the yield this high, this tells me that I hadn't noticed this until just now, today. This tells me that the market is probably going to be waiting for this to come back down, because right now, this is too good to be true. This is a really, really good rate for fixed income. The next $1 billion, the next, I should say $500 billion, it's going to rotate into any kind of risk, is probably going to go ahead and take this fixed income. So that's why I think there's hesitation in the stock market and in crypto, why we aren't seeing huge continuation of the bullish movement from earlier this week, is because the bonds look really sweet, but nobody's picking them up yet. So it's kind of like a Mexican standoff. Everybody's waiting for, whatever bank to make the next move. I'm going to continue to stack and do my DCA strategy. But when this rate does start to come back down, I think that'll be kind of the all clear, and we'll see a rotation back into risk.
There we go. That's a great point there. Watching those bonds. Yeah, people are going all into bonds right now. Watch T-Shirt be right there. Those bonds start to slip back down, signaling people shifting back over, taking some profit on some good investments in those bonds, shifting it back over into risk-on assets like cryptocurrency. Let's go take a look here real quickly before I get into ONDO and Chainlink. Someone asked in chat earlier today in our Discord, they said, Tim, we're hearing some other analysts predicting or saying that altcoin season is officially here. What's your take on this? Let's talk about this right now. This is the Bitcoin Dominance chart. If you guys are not familiar with it, that's okay. It's simply the chart that tells you at any given moment how much of the total crypto market cap is dominated by Bitcoin's market cap alone. Market cap of crypto at 3.29 trillion right now. Bitcoin is sitting in, I don't even know the exact number. It's going to be 62.5% of that, right? But look at that same pullback. Same as gold. We look at the gold chart, how gold's been pulling back. Bitcoin Dominance is pulling back here as well. And this is causing some people to go ahead and start waving the flag. Altcoin season is here. How do I think about this? I do not want to mislead you in either direction. And some people get very frustrated with me, but I'm trying to be as honest and straightforward to help you as best I can. I don't want to tell you what you want to hear. I want to tell you what you need to hear. What you need to hear right now is we very well might be witnessing the beginning of altcoin season. Why? Because we've always said altcoin season wouldn't come back until liquidity starts flowing back in. And even though we don't have quantitative easing yet, what we're seeing potentially is maybe the early signs of people front running that extra liquidity. Could we see people expecting some major money to start flowing into crypto and they're trying to get ahead of it and buy early? Well, the reason why that's significant is because during altcoin season, whether Bitcoin corrects or not, historically it's corrected. I don't think Bitcoin needs to correct in future altcoin seasons. But what it needs to see is people dumping way more money into your altcoins like the Ethereums and Chainlinks and Ondos and Solanas and XRPs than into Bitcoin. And recently, that's just not been the case. With the exception of a couple of weeks here back in November, we've just been slowly but surely climbing to the upside of Bitcoin Dominance. Now we've seen sustained. Last couple of days have been very negative. I don't want to mislead you and tell you that this is not altcoin season, because it very well could be. Even looking at Luxalgo, we have a very clear sell signal here on the daily chart. I believe this is one, even we're building a bubble, we're about to see a weekly sell signal on the Bitcoin Dominance chart. Very, very bullish for altcoins. That itself, though, would only take us back down to 60%. And the reason why I say we could be starting, but maybe not, is because if this news that we're kind of running on is so good, but then all of a sudden gets kind of turned on us and we get a bounce here on 60%, we very well could see the exact same thing that happened in November happen again, where we see a sustained pullback and then all of a sudden we're shooting back to the upside. For me, what I want to see, I don't think, even though we did it back in November, December, I don't think that the Bitcoin Dominance chart can survive another weekly smart trail breakage, right? So if we stay above the weekly smart trail, no altcoin season yet. If we can get a sustained move and a break below it, I will then declare altcoin season. I think Bitcoin Dominance will make its way back down towards 50% over the next couple of months. But as a whole, I think there's going to be a lot of people screaming altcoin season, altcoin season, altcoin season. And it very well could be here. But if we get this bounce here on the weekly chart and just start making a move to the upside, we'll keep climbing. Bitcoin will keep going up. Technically speaking, liquidity has not come shooting back into the markets yet. It's expectation of liquidity coming back in. So it's putting the cart before the horse to say it's official that altcoin season is here. The reality is, continue to be responsible with your investments. Don't go selling all of your Bitcoin right now. If you want to sell a little bit of Bitcoin to go into altcoins, hey, be my guest, but understand this is not a sure thing. We could see a repeat of November where we see a decent pullback, but then a bounce, a new highs coming to the Bitcoin Dominance chart. Please be responsible. Spread your options out there, right? Be aware of both situations. Have a plan for both situations. That's what's going to lead you to success. If you want to know how to make those plans, it's a great time to join the VIP trading group where we can help you each and every single day when I'm not on vacation. Go through the charts, go through the news, go through the details, and help you understand what would be best for you with your investments. That being said, let's go take a look at some altcoin TA here and look at Chainlink and ONDO, the big coins of the day. Are they bullish today? Not necessarily. I see blue candles, I think, on both of these coins. But the news that happened is not for short-term bullishness. This was always going to be for long-term moves. They're solidifying their places in the future of this world, of technology, of blockchain, of real-world asset plays. Massive institutions are going all in with these coins. That being said, you want to be aware of what the charts are saying. Let me start off on the positive side here with Chainlink. I'm not going to do Chainlink TA since we broke this level on the YouTube channel. I've done this technical analysis with our VIP traders. I told you guys for Chainlink to enter into a bull market again, officially, we need to see some higher highs and higher lows, and we need to break the previous higher low of the bear trend. The bear trend, of course, going all the way back here to December of 2024, has been putting in lower highs and lower lows marked by this red and blue line since that time. And after bottoming out here back in April, back around $10, we actually bought in here around $12 and entered a long-term long on Chainlink. But I told you guys before I get super bullish on Chainlink again and say the bull market's here, I need to see a break of $16 on Chainlink. That's exactly what happened. Now, I told the VIP traders after we broke above, I said, hey, it's cool that we're up here. Do not be surprised if we get a pullback back down to this former resistance level, back down towards $16. Take a look at where over the last couple of days we've seen bounces happen here on Chainlink. Right there on my red line at $16. So again, VIP traders have been crushing it with this Luxago TA, with this analysis on Chainlink. If you want to be a part of that, go sign up with that link down below. But what am I expecting to happen right now? Let's take a look out here on the daily and the daily and the 12-hour chart. We are seeing some bearish divergence. We are seeing a red reversal come in today. And even though we have a little green dot, that green dot is not necessarily very strong. We're seeing some struggling money flow here as well. What does that mean necessarily for Chainlink? That's a pretty low level, 1426. It's climbing, so don't necessarily marry yourself to that level. This was a lot better. Yeah, this order block here still between $16, potentially $15 is going to be a zone to keep your eye on. I wouldn't be waiting for $15, but I think a turn to $16 still absolutely is on the table. You can see here the last time we had a daily buy signal. Let's go back over here. Red reversal, bearish momentum, negative money flow was back here April 27th. Did we respect the sell signal and touch the daily smart trail? Well, actually, this is one you can't say that because we were below the smart trail there. But we would have had a nice pullback here. You would have entered this trade, way back in here, April 26th or so. You could have had a very, very, very strong pullback back here. And we must have hit a 12-hour smart trail or something. Yep, there we go. Because I had a red box right here. I said this was our buy level for a second go-around at 1325. Hit it perfectly right there, bouncing off that 12-hour smart trail after a bearish call there. Either way, we're seeing the sell signal on the daily chart and the 12-hour chart right now. The bearish divergence is there. This one, again, still climbing, but kind of backing up. $15 to $16 once again is probably still on the table for Chainlink holders. We bounced on it a couple days ago. It looks right now that we probably want to do it again. Let me go in here and check the 4-hour chart real quickly. Yeah, sell signals on the 4-hour chart. Nice little bubble popping up right there. And guess where that smart trail is coming in at? Right there on $16. So if you have not gotten in on Chainlink here recently, if you've not been buying it, guess what? I think you get another chance here at least at $16. There's a chance we have a little bit of a dip, a little wick that comes down closer towards 15. But the long-term trajectory for Chainlink is still extremely, extremely bullish. We got weekly buy signals. So we got a 2-weekly buy signal yet? Yep, we do have. We have a 2-weekly buy signal that could go even higher. We're talking about prices up here towards $40. Ooh, I'd love to see that. I think Chainlink could be at $40 by the end of the summer. But we definitely have this price target on the weekly chart that we've been monitoring back up towards $25 here for Chainlink. Look to scoop some up back at $16 would be my analysis on the best buy level from here on out. Once again, though, like I said with Bitcoin, if we take off and the TA ends up being wrong, and you could not stand it because you don't have enough Chainlink right now, buy right now. $17 is still a good buy spot for Chainlink when you're looking at $50, when you look at $100. I'm crazy to think that we're going to get to $300. Call me crazy. Maybe you agree with me, maybe you don't. $17 is not a bad buy spot. If you can be patient, wait for 16. If you can't be, $17 is not that bad. What about ONDO? ONDO, I'm very bullish on as well, but I will admit ONDO is not necessarily as bullish right now as Chainlink is. Why? I do like the recent higher highs and higher lows we've been putting in here on shorter time frames. You can see here, well, that's not what I want to use there. Let's use the marker. If I can grab that. You can see here after bottoming out back here early in April, down here towards 66 cents, we've now put in 1, 2 lower or higher lows. In the same time frame, we put in 1, 2, and now this week, 3 higher highs. So on shorter time frames, higher highs and higher lows have been made, but I'm still kind of addressing and I want to be aware of what's happening on the longer time frames. And again, the bear trend that we've had over the last couple of months since December, I have my eyes set on $1.24 as the target to be. I'm not saying we're not bullish right now. I'm saying I will become super bullish on ONDO once again once we reclaim $1.25 and beat out those highs from back in early March. We still got a lot of work to do to get there. With that said, though, we have the things on the longer term charts that still say that's doable. Weekly buy signals are still telling us a target for ONDO back up here towards $1.65 over the next couple of weeks is on the table 100%. Where would I say you can be looking for the next couple of days to buy? Let's check out what the daily chart is saying here. No official daily sell signal. You'll love to see it. It's one of the consequences of not having a major rally. You don't have the higher sell signals either. You did have this nice 12-hour sell signal. And when I add this with the bullish breaker blocks, I got a target back here at 92 cents is going to be a very interesting buy spot for ONDO. 92, 93 cents for ONDO is where I would be looking to add to my positions. You can see on the 12-hour chart, we came up here, hit some take profit levels, hit the premium levels. A cool off is necessary. But again, with that news we're getting from JPMorgan and several other large entities who are using ONDO as the future, the real world asset tokenization, you want to get in early as possible. And again, $1, not a bad spot. 93 cents, not a bad spot. Don't regret and don't beat yourself up just because you didn't buy ONDO back at 66 cents. Don't beat yourself up because you didn't buy all the way back here at 20 cents. When we think about the future of ONDO and where the price is going to be, think about the people who bought Bitcoin at $10,000 way back in like 2019, right? It took years for them to make a lot of money off that investment. But you look back at them now and say, wow, $10,000 Bitcoin purchase. That's brilliant. In the next couple of years, we're going to say the same thing about ONDO buyers at $1. Act when you can, as you can. Get exposure to ONDO as quickly as possible. That's my analysis on those coins. T-Shroom, I'm going to take a little break, get a sip of something. Anything you want to chime in there? Anything you want to take a look at from people in chat?
Yeah, absolutely. We promised that we would talk about this poll that you've put on Twitter. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pull it up onto my screen, and there might be a little bit of a hint that we just saw what you're drinking from there. But Tim said this. He said, let's start an internet fight today. Tim woke up and chose violence on his vacation. I don't know if you're getting the right vibe there, bud. But he said this. He said, which fast food joint has the best chicken sandwich? Chick-fil-A, Popeyes, Zaxby's, or Cane's? That would be Raisin Cane's. You want to get the branding right there for Cane's. 50.5% says Chick-fil-A. Spam the chat right now. Let us know, what is your answer to this?
Does Raisin Cane's even have a chicken sandwich?
Okay,
It's a
the
good...
level of disrespect coming from Smay right now is to be ignored.
Okay. I put my 3 chicken tenders in bread, and suddenly I have a good chicken sandwich. Get out of here.
Okay.
All right, let's go back to the try screen because it sounds to me like we have a little bit of a debate on our hands.
Listen.
Let's see if
we'll look at some coins here a little bit. People want to look at
Chick-fil-A
TAO.
as a representative of Chick-fil-A. But anyways, I'll send it back to you guys to finish the show.
Yeah, we can't all be right about everything, Smay, and you have a lot of talents in this world. Judging chicken sandwiches is not one of them. Unfortunately, even in that poll on X, it turns out over 50 people are dead wrong. I'm gonna make some people upset. I love the company Chick-fil-A. I love what they stand for. I love their founder and his heart and his mission. But when it comes to making a chicken sandwich, they suck.
No,
Chick-fil-A is the most overrated. The overrated, worst chicken sandwich of those 4 options, bar none.
Okay.
Listen.
No, seriously.
It's not even close.
Shroom, pull up Cane's menu. They don't even have a chicken sandwich.
Well,
They absolutely have a chicken
They do have a chicken sandwich, man.
Let
If
me
you go
see.
to my screen, you will see it. It's right there.
That is literally just 3 chicken tenders on a bun. That doesn't count. That's not a chicken sandwich.
Who made you? Wait, what definition of a chicken sandwich that chicken
It's a
tenders
chicken fillet.
Listen, the chicken tenders from, and we're gonna end it here because I'm very passionate about this.
I made them professionally. I was a professional Chick-fil-A employee cook. I was professional. I made the sandwich. I got promoted within like 3 months of being there because I was so dang good at it. And let me tell you something. They are the best sandwiches. Thank you.
Well, they're not. And so we're going to move on here. Go right now. If you guys don't believe me, go buy a chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A, and then I'll tell you what, any of the 3 of the other ones. Go to Zaxby's, go to Raisin Cane's, go to Papa. Choose one, right? Because I put Chick-fil-A at the bottom of all 4 of those. And here's what I'll tell you. I'll give one caveat here. Chick-fil-A sauce. If the question was which of these companies had the best sauce, Chick-fil-A wins hands down. Chick-fil-A sauce is magical. It's amazing. It makes the sandwich. Eat these sandwiches without the Chick-fil-A sauce, and you will find out you're eating the blandest, dumbest chicken sandwich in the world.
Can you go ahead and pull up that picture of that cane sandwich again? There's something that really stood out to me about this cane sandwich. Go ahead and pull that one up again. You have it ready for me? You have it up? What is that between not only the top bun, but the top and bottom bun? They are chilling that sauce so hard. They don't want you to eat those bland chicken tenders on their own. And they throw in lettuce. That's disgusting.
You are so wrong. You are so wrong. You are
3 chicken tenders and 3 gallons of their sauce. Oh, that'll do it.
Listen, yeah, other way.
It's a good-looking sandwich.
There we go.
It's not as good as a Chick-fil-A sandwich, I will say that.
You guys are just wrong. I don't even know. I love you both. Like
you did a poll, and it proved that you were the minority here. You're wrong.
Yeah, you know what? At one point, the majority of the world thought the Earth was flat as well. So just because there's a majority of people who say something doesn't make it so. And I think there's more of a cult-like mentality when it comes to Chick-fil-A. I think that it's like a thing like you've been told at your local meeting, if you don't say that our chicken sandwich is the best, you don't get to come to the meetings anymore. And that's why you guys keep saying it. But anyone who's objectively tasting these chicken tenders, tasting these sandwiches, is going to tell you Chick-fil-A is just the most overrated chicken sandwich the world has ever seen. We got to get back into crypto. Kankles agrees with me. He says Smay is wrong. And again, I love Smay. I love Smay like a brother. But sometimes brothers say dumb things. And Smay says that
yeah, and my brother right up here saying real dumb stuff. All right.
Let us know in the comments where you stand on the debate. Let's get this. Let's get back into some crypto talk here. Yeah, I know I'm outvoted here. That doesn't mean that I'm wrong. All right, let's get into TAO. Let's look at TAO here. We got to give a lot more attention to TAO moving forward. It's like the ugly stepchild of our portfolio. We love TAO. We personally love it. We hold it. We talk about it VIP trading all the time. Why don't we cover it more on YouTube? It's my fault. It's my mistake, and we're going to rectify this. BitTensor TAO is a special project that has been slept on, just like Chainlink. Go buy some. I am a little disappointed that I did not get my second entry here on TAO. We bought TAO a while ago, but we bought more of it back here, just above $200. I was hoping to scoop up some more here at 330. Didn't get that pullback, and the reason for that really was we had, again, that 12-hour sell signal. This is where technical analysis is not 100%. I'm not here to claim that I win every single trade I ever make. We had a beautiful sell signal here on the 12-hour chart. I said, all right, put my buy-in order right here at 330. Didn't get there. We fell short. Why? Because BitTensor TAO is awesome. And the bulls said, you know what? Screw the 12-hour smart trail. We're going up anyway. Will we get another swing at it? I think so. We have another one. I'm not saying never. Rarely do you get a bunch of these sell signals to fail. We have bearish divergence this time. We have a red reversal, bearish momentum, that money flow starting to curve back over. Where's that smart trail coming in at? It's coming in back at 401. So forget 330. Maybe 330 happens still, but I think that ship has sailed at this point. I have my eyes set here on the fair value gaps. Actually, maybe closer towards 400. Let's take a look at the daily chart real quickly, though, before I make my final assessment of where I'm going to buy the next TAO. I got some bearish divergence here on the daily chart. Although it's only on Luxago. This is disappointing right here. We don't have RSI divergence. You definitely don't have MACD divergence, but you do have Luxago's oscillator clearly giving some divergence. Red reversal, bearish momentum, and we got the close sell signal coming. Where's that coming in at? 3? It's climbing here. It's right now at 370, but this is an order block territory. Fair value gap. All right, 370 still sticking in there. Look at the 12-hour smart trail again. All right. This is going to be a little hard. I think I'm going to have to go with the fair value gap and say that's about as good as I can get and expect. I'm probably somewhere around 390. Honestly, anywhere between $4 and 390, I think it's going to be an awesome place to get a hold of. But even that daily chart giving us some nice, that smart trail's rising very, very, very quickly, even with that sell signal. Probably looking at BitTensor TAO in that camp. Again, 400 to 390 as being the zone that possibly get another buy. Again, this is all coming in with, we got some major buy signals on the weekly chart. Ooh, we hit the weekly smart trail. Are we getting a 2-weekly buy signal yet? Very hard because the age of the coin, but we got some green reversals here. We got green momentum. You have a very bullish MACD. The RSI is overextended. If that all holds, the level of the 2-weekly smart trail to keep an eye on will be back up here towards all-time highs, back up around $750. Let's start by just breaking above the weekly smart trail. Again, that's going to be up here at 524. When we make that clean break the way I think we can, all of a sudden, I think all-time highs by the end of the summer for BitTensor TAO are absolutely on the table. Love me some TAO. I'll probably try to scoop some more up here at $400 if I'm lucky.
Now
Shroom, go ahead.
I was just going to say, before you go to the next one, if you are into AI crypto, we have a video for you, our fundamental channel. This is all produced by Crux of Crypto. He is awesome. He has this video that is just about to come out at the end of this live stream. And if you're watching later on after the live stream, then it's already out. You can go watch it right now. Top 5 AI coins that are set to explode for 2025. And there's also a hidden gem that you'll regret missing, says Crux. So definitely go check that out over on Alpha Bros, our fundamentals channel. You're going to love it.
There we go. There was another one people were asking for in chat. But while we're looking for that one, anything else you're seeing in chat? Any good questions in chat? A lot of debate still happening about chicken sandwiches. And again, it's okay. If you guys are Chick-fil-A fans, it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be a part of a it's not okay to be a part of a cult. I will say, if you're part of the Chick-fil-A cult, that's a cult that's okay to be a part of. But
it's not very dangerous. It's a good XRP.
Just, if they tell you to drink the Kool-Aid, stay away.
I see XRP. I see plenty of ONDO, but we've already done ONDO.
You did ONDO. Okay.
Raising Canes. That's not a crypto. Sui.
But that's a good answer. Raising Canes is good.
Yeah. Have we looked at Ethereum? That might be a bit of a snoozer.
That's a good one to look at. We'll probably wrap up the TA with Ethereum. Of course, this is going to be one of the biggest contributors to that Bitcoin Dominance chart falling. We'll save AVAX for either Q&A day next week or next week's live show. Again, if you guys want to have your coins, if you want to have TA done on your coins on a daily basis, that VIP trading group where we have so much more time to do live tradings in the mornings, have Q&As in the afternoons, Highly recommend going there. If you want to be serious about trading, if you want to learn how to trade, our traders are crushing it here. People are making money hand over fist. Right now, go sign up for that VIP trading group, and you get access to all of our trade setups and some feedback on how you're trading. Ethereum with some big moves here. We'll start off with the bullish structure. Weekly buy signal, check. Where's the target for that? Right now, coming in around $3,200. I think this is one, though, that is either close or it did. Yes, we officially have a 2 weekly buy signal. That's going to raise that to about $3,600. Of course, these are just smart trails. If these get broken, all of a sudden, we're talking about brand new all-time highs coming in here for Ethereum. But all of that you love to see. Are we overextended? I think the short answer is yes. The question, though, is going to be, are we have a sell signal? No sell signal officially on the daily chart for Ethereum. That's a really high oscillator for Lux Algo. The MACD is really high. Ooh. It's rare that it's very rare that you have bearish divergence on the RSI, but not on the Lux Algo oscillator. But you guys see those two peaks right there? That's a lower high. And I correspond that to the exact same price action. That's a higher high. I bet you that's just painfully obvious over here on the 12-hour chart. Yes, that's where Lux Algo is giving us a bearish divergence. And so we don't have the official sell signal on the daily chart, but we do have some bearish divergence on the daily chart RSI. I'm going to put my money probably on, 12-hour sell signal in effect here. I'm going to put my money on that one being the accurate one to keep an eye on. We're looking back down towards 2,300, give or take. What's the daily chart smart trail saying? 2,100, but it's climbing here pretty quickly. Oh, there's an order block right there as well. Let's go back to 12-hour here really quickly. I bet you there's going to be some buying here on 2,300, 22.6. But I kind of like 2,100 here still with Ethereum. And part of this is going to be watch Ethereum drop, even Bitcoin dropping, but watch the Bitcoin dominance get a little bit of a rebound here. We've dropped pretty fast. Watch Bitcoin dominance make its way back up here towards 63, almost 64%. But that doesn't mean it's over. That doesn't mean altcoin season is over. It's just, hey, in altcoin seasons, you get higher highs and higher lows, just like the rest of, lower highs and lower lows, just like a bear trend. Going back to Ethereum, don't be surprised if we have some sort of a move where we do get some form of a bounce here off the 23, 22.6 area, maybe have a little bit of a long right there. We come back up, put in a lower high on a shorter time frame, and then we make our way back down here towards 21. 21 is also significant here because this was my level weeks ago. I said, hey, when am I going to be bullish on Ethereum again and say bull market back? When we break the March highs of $2,100, well, we ran through it like a freight train, have not revisited it. It's very common, not necessary, not 100%, but it's very common to go back and treat former significant resistance levels as support. So that 2,100, that is something you want to keep an eye on. 21, like 13, if you want to be more exact. But I would say, like, I would have some buy levels for Ethereum to layer in, probably a little bit right in here, just south of 2,300, and then a little bit more right back here at 2,100. I'd look at both of those as pretty good buying spots for Ethereum price action. The last time we did this, we talked about Ethereum pulling back down here towards 1,750. It did just that. Our VIP trading group got an entry right there. They've made a lot of money here with Ethereum ever since. And a couple of them probably have already taken their profits there, and they're looking for their next entry. That's what I'd be watching for Ethereum. All right, man. Our question of the day that wasn't even brought up by Smay, still catching some attention. Listen, guys, I love you. Hopefully you love me. If you love Chick-fil-A, go eat it. I have no problem with you giving their money. Just don't lie to me and say there's better chicken sandwich. It's just not the superior chicken sandwich. It's bland. It doesn't taste very good. The sauce is the sauce. That's it. Give me a Popeye sandwich or a Raisin Cane sandwich, and then I'll go over and buy some Chick-fil-A sauce from Publix. They sell now in bottles. I'm a happy man. Give me the sauce. Keep the chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A. That's my final say. Smay, that was a little bit of a crazy corner, but that was Tim's crazy corner. As we're wrapping out the show here, did Smay have his own crazy corner for us?
Tim, let me tell you something real quick before we move on. You're saying you're bringing up Popeyes, and I just gotta say, I'll be fine if you bring up that fake Tinder amalgamation of whatever Raisin Cane's offers. But Popeyes is so overrated. It's not even funny. The spicy chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A, put a little American cheese on that bad boy. It is by far
Oh.
The best.
So
offering.
you're saying to make it good, you have to add a couple extra things.
Oh, is that? But isn't that Tim? Isn't that Tim?
It can't just stand on its own merits of a chicken sandwich.
Isn't that Tim? What the other places are doing? Oh yeah, that's exactly what they're doing.
Plain.
They add lettuce. They add sauce. They add all this stuff. All right. But guess what's not on the Chick-fil-A sandwich, and it still is the best-selling chicken sandwich? It's just 2 pickles, baby. 2 pickles. Bam! 2 pickles, fried filet, classic. It is the best-selling chicken sandwich, Tim. But everyone else to compete, what do? Oh, here's some of our special sauce, top and bottom bun. Oh, here's a piece of lettuce, a lily pad. We'll throw on there for you. And, we'll give you 2 different varieties. No, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, Tim.
Oh, my God.
All right, moving on. We're gonna move on. We're gonna do something way less controversial here. Real quick, we're gonna move on to our newest May segment called Hot Take. I know what you're thinking. We've had plenty of hot takes this entire show, but we gotta end out with some new ones. So this one's gonna be, what is the best fast food chain pizza? Tim,
no,
you first.
No, it's not.
That is not the question.
Yes, it is.
That can't be the question. You have to save a different food topic for a different.
No,
day.
that's
no.
What am I supposed to? No. That's what we're doing. I pre-prepared this. You disrupt.
Pre-prepared it. How did you not call an audible when the whole show we talked about sandwiches?
Shroom, you don't pay me enough to do audibles, so let's go ahead. Hit me. What do we got?
I'll just say this is the Chick-fil-A of questions. For hot topics, what constitutes a
the best
fast
question?
Food pizza? No, it's the worst. What constitutes fast food? I mean, Domino's.
Okay,
Pizza
it has
Hut,
to be
a
national chain. So yeah, you think Domino's, Papa John's, Little Caesars.
I'm gonna say Papa John's.
No, Papa John's is terrible.
I'm not saying Domino's.
Man, I'm surrounded by Domino's is not the best either.
I already have my answer. I'm gonna.
Jet's Pizza is really.
I'm gonna
freak
freak everyone out.
Listen. If it has a chain and that's okay, like I'm not gonna say this is the most popular.
No, it has to be a national chain. It cannot be a regional chain.
That's fine. I mean, from what I understand, there's this. I have one down the street from me right now. There's one up in Atlanta. I think this goes a lot of places. Jet's Pizza is phenomenal.
It's not that doesn't qualify.
It's not popular enough.
No,
it is. It is a national chain.
I've never heard of
Texas. They're in Illinois, Michigan.
Because you only eat at Chick-fil-A, Smay. Get out of the house, Mom, and eat some other places.
I don't live in Chick-fil-A.
I'm going with Jet's Pizza too.
I'm going with something absolutely wild. This is going to turn everyone against me, but I don't care. I like for controversy. It's.
This show's getting away from us.
Little Caesars Pizza is the best pizza. I'm telling you, it gets too much flack.
Flavored crust.
It gets too much flack. What I love about Little Caesars is when I was a little kid, and there was a Little Caesars right next to the park, and Little Smay would go, "Oh, I want to go play on the monkey bars," and then my mom would say, "Well, real quick, let's make sure we get lunch in the way." She'll drive through, get us a $5 hot and ready pizza. We'd eat there at those like crusty little metal benches under the gazebo. We eat that, then we go play on the monkey bars.
Yeah, there's 3 in
Michigan.
3 Jets.
If the question is what is the best tasting pizza of those fast food joints, Jet's Pizza. If your question was what is the best bang for your buck fast food pizza, Little Caesars takes the cake on that one. You just can't beat that $5 large pizza.
Even if I had a lot of buck, I would just be getting a lot more not Chick-fil-A. Yes, that too.
Yeah,
I'd be getting a lot more Little Caesars.
It's just slipped.
I'd be getting a lot more Little Caesars. The more buck, the more Little Caesars.
You know what pizza I like is any pizza that's at the corner gas station.
Ooh.
Just kidding.
Yeah, you better be.
Yeah, you know he's on your side with Chick-fil-A, by the way, right?
Yeah.
He's
fine,
a gas station pizza guy. He probably eats gas station sushi as well, and he's the one you're trusting with his analysis on the best tasting chicken sandwich.
Well, I'll tell you what, nobody downs sunflower seeds like this guy over here. I'll tell you what, that guy, he's got like a wood chipper of a mouth. He just throws them in there, just sends out the debris. I'll tell you what, you got to wear goggles around him, okay? Because he might poke your eye out with one of them. All right, anyways, back to you guys.
Guys, thank you for being here again. This is a special vacay edition edition. Tim is on vacation. We're talking pizza and chicken sandwiches. Let us know, what's your favorite chicken sandwich? What's your favorite pizza? We'll be back next week. I'll be back in my studio. Can't wait to be here. But here's the end of the day. What you need to be doing right now. Go buy crypto. Look for dips and buy crypto. Learn your technical analysis. It's not too late to learn and educate yourself on what the best portfolio is, how to do technical analysis, how to trade. Because guess what, guys? The bull market, it's looking good already, but it's just getting started. There's so much time for you to learn and make some money. No better place to do that than the Broz community. Come join us every single day for our Q&As, for our live trading. With that said, though, that's all I got for you. I'm going to go swim in a pool with my 2-year-old. We'll see you guys next week. Adios.